welcome to our deep dive into the world of hamsters.
Yeah.
You know those cute, fluffy little guys?
Right.
We're going to be starting with this YouTube video called 25 Facts About Hamsters by Victoria Rachel.
Okay.
Now, this video is really fun and gives a nice quick overview of some cool hamster facts.
Yeah.
But we want to go a bit deeper here.
Of course.
You know, beyond listing those fun facts.
Right.
And really explore, what makes hamsters so unique.
Yeah, their adaptation.
Exactly how they've adapted to their environments. And maybe even bust some myths along the way.
Absolutely.
So the video mentions 5 common domesticated hamster species.
Okay.
Syrian Chinese, Roborowski, winter white, and Campbell's dwarf hamsters.
Yeah, those are the main ones.
But it got me thinking,
Yeah.
how does a domesticated hamster's life compare to that of a wild one?
That's a great question.
Like, what challenges do wild hamsters face that our little pampered pets don't?
Yeah, like the European hamster, for example.
Okay.
They're not domesticated.
Right.
And they have to deal with things like harsh winters,
Oh, wow.
predators.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they need a different set of skills
Right.
to survive, compared to their
Yeah.
domesticated cousins.
So let's unpack one of those survival skills.
Okay.
Those famous cheek pouches.
Yes.
I mean, they can extend all the way down to the hips,
It's incredible.
making hamsters the ultimate hoarders.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
In fact, did you know that the word hamster
I did not.
comes from the German word hamstern,
Okay.
which means to hoard?
Oh, wow. So it's all of this.
Literally in their name.
Yeah.
To hoard.
I love that.
Yeah.
But those pouches aren't just for stuffing their faces.
Right.
Right.
They also use them to carry
Yes.
nesting material back to their burrows.
And their burrows are quite elaborate.
They are? They can have
Yes.
multiple chambers.
For sleeping,
Yeah.
storing food.
And even dedicated bathrooms.
It's true. Hamster plumbing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
But here's something that kind of surprised me.
Okay.
Hamsters are actually pretty nearsighted.
Yeah. Their vision isn't great.
So I'm picturing them stumbling around in the dark.
Well,
How do they navigate these complex burrows and find food?
that's where their other senses come in.
Like what?
Their sense of smell is incredible.
Oh, interesting.
And they also have scent glands on their hips.
Scent glands.
Yes.
What do those do?
Well, they use them to mark their territory,
Oh,
communicate with other hamsters,
interesting.
and even find their way back
Oh, wow.
after those long foraging journeys.
So it's like they're leaving
Exactly.
little smelly breadcrumbs
That's a great way to put it.
to find their way around.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about food
Okay.
for a second. I know they love seeds and nuts,
Right.
but the video mentions that they're actually omnivores.
That's right.
I was surprised to learn they can eat meat, too.
Yeah.
Does that mean my little hamster could be a secret carnivore?
Well, not exactly a carnivore.
Okay.
But they can have
Okay.
small amounts of lean cooked meat
Interesting.
and insects.
Oh, okay.
But the really surprising thing is that they can digest dairy.
Really?
Yeah. Unlike most rodents,
Wow.
they have these
Mhm.
pregastric pouches.
Gastric pouches?
Yeah, it's kind of a mouthful.
Yeah, what is that?
Well, basically, it's like a little pre-stomach.
A pre-stomach.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That helps them break down lactose.
Wow. So it's a special compartment.
Yeah, you could say that.
This for certain types of food?
Exactly.
That's so cool.
It's a unique adaptation
Yeah.
that probably helped them survive
Yeah.
by allowing them to eat foods
Right.
that other rodents couldn't.
So they had a competitive advantage.
Yeah, you could say that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But speaking of digestion, we have to address the elephant, or rather, the hamster in the room.
Okay.
The video mentions that hamsters eat their own poop.
It's true.
What's not?
Is my adorable hamster secretly a little gross?
Not as gross as it sounds.
Okay.
They actually produce 2 types of droppings.
Okay.
One is waste,
Mm.
like you'd expect,
Uh-huh.
but the other is softer
Okay.
and full of nutrients that they didn't fully absorb the first time.
Oh, so they're
eat that one.
getting like a second chance.
Yeah, think of it as a really efficient recycling system.
Wow, that is less gross than I initially thought. I know, right? But here's another thing that surprised me.
What's that?
Hamsters can't throw up.
It's true. They don't
It's
have
like at all.
No, they don't have the gag reflex that triggers vomiting.
That's so strange.
Well, it might seem strange.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. When you think
Yeah.
about their hoarding habits.
What do you mean?
Well, imagine
they stuff their cheek pouches with all sorts of things.
Right.
If they were prone to vomiting, it
Yeah.
would be a disaster.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So
it's a safety mechanism
yeah, you could say that.
to protect them from their
Yeah.
overstuffed cheeks.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. That is surprisingly logical.
Right.
But it raises a lot of new questions for me
Like what?
about how they regulate their diet
Yeah.
and avoid eating things that might make them sick.
Well, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show
Yeah.
how well adapted they are
Okay.
to their unique physiology.
That's amazing.
It is.
Okay, well, that's a great segue to the next topic.
Okay.
Hamster social life.
Right.
Or should I say the lack thereof.
Right.
The video mentions that they're solitary creatures.
Primarily speaking.
Right.
Yeah.
Which means that whole two hamsters are better than one idea
Yeah.
is actually a myth.
It depends on the species.
Okay.
But for the most part,
Okay.
hamsters prefer to be alone.
So they're not social butterflies.
Not really.
Okay.
They're very territorial.
Right.
And if you force them to share space,
Uh-huh.
they can get aggressive.
Okay, I've always heard
Yeah.
that mother hamsters can be fiercely protective
Oh, yeah.
of their young.
Yes.
But then there's this whole cannibalism thing.
Right.
I know it's a sensitive topic,
It is.
but the video mentions it.
Yeah.
Is it true that mother hamsters eat their babies?
It is true. And it's hard to hear,
I know.
but in the wild,
Okay.
if a mother hamster feels threatened
Right.
or stressed,
Uh-huh.
she might resort to eating her offspring.
Oh, wow.
It seems barbaric,
Yeah.
but it's a survival mechanism.
So she's preventing predators
Exactly.
from getting a meal,
Yeah.
even if it's her own babies.
It's a desperate pleasure.
It's heartbreaking.
It is, but you have to understand, in that environment,
Right.
it's a way to ensure
Yeah.
that at least some of her genes
Right.
will survive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this brings us to another hamster myth.
Oh, yeah.
Hibernation.
Right.
People often assume
Uh-huh.
that they hibernate like other rodents,
Right.
but in captivity,
Yeah.
attempting to hibernate can actually be fatal.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, so no cozy winter naps
Nope.
for my little buddy.
In the wild,
Yeah.
hibernation is essential for
Right.
survival.
Yeah.
But in a controlled environment where there's plenty of food and warmth,
Yeah.
their bodies just aren't programmed to
Interesting.
handle it.
So no hibernation for pet hamsters.
No.
So two myths busted.
That's right.
No cuddle buddies.
Right?
And no winter snoozing.
Right. Right.
Okay, what else?
Well, how about this?
Yeah.
Hamsters can cover an incredible amount of ground.
Really?
Yeah, imagine
How?
a tiny creature
Yeah.
traveling up to 5 miles a night
5 miles.
in the wild.
That's like a marathon
It is.
for a creature that fits in the palm of my hand.
Yeah, it's amazing.
No wonder they need those cheek pouches
Right.
to fuel their adventures.
Exactly.
But not everyone appreciates their adventurous spirit.
That's right.
The video mentions that hamsters are actually banned in some places.
Yeah, like Australia.
Why would anyone want to ban these adorable fluff balls?
Well, it's because they can become invasive species.
Oh, okay.
You know, if they escape and
Right.
establish wild colonies,
Yeah.
they can really disrupt
Okay.
the local ecosystem.
So even a tiny, cuddly hamster
Yeah.
can be an ecological troublemaker.
It's true. It's a good reminder
Yeah.
that even seemingly harmless pets
Right.
can have unintended consequences
That's a good point.
if they're introduced into the wrong environment.
This is turning out to be a much deeper dive
It is.
than I expected.
It always is.
We've gone from cheek pouches to poop eating
I know.
to ecological invaders,
It's all connected.
and we've barely stretched the surface.
We've got a lot more to cover.
I know. I'm ready to keep digging.
Let's do it.
Let's see what other fascinating hamster facts we can uncover.
What? It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
How even these tiny creatures
Yeah.
can have such a big impact on
Right.
the environment.
And speaking of those ecological impacts,
Yes.
you mentioned earlier
Uh.
that Syrian hamsters are considered vulnerable in the wild.
That's right.
What's contributing to their decline?
Well, a lot of it has to do with habitat loss.
Okay.
As agricultural practices expand,
Right.
their natural habitats
Yeah.
are being destroyed.
That's sad.
It is.
It makes you realize how interconnected everything is.
Yeah.
You know, human actions in one area can have ripple effects
Exactly.
on entire ecosystems.
It's like that butterfly effect.
Right.
One small change can lead to big changes elsewhere.
Yeah. But let's shift gears for a moment
Okay.
and talk about something a little less heavy.
Sure.
Those scent glands you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
They're not just for marking territory, are they?
No, you're right about that. They actually play a crucial role in communication.
Oh, interesting.
By releasing pheromones.
Uh-huh.
They can convey all sorts of information.
Like what?
Things like their identity,
Okay.
social status,
Interesting.
even reproductive readiness.
So it's like their own secret language.
Yeah.
Written in smells.
You got it.
That's fascinating.
And it's especially important for nocturnal animals,
Right.
like hamsters, in low light conditions.
Yeah.
Scent becomes their primary way of navigating.
And interacting.
Exactly.
But I'm still stuck on those 5-mile nightly journeys.
I know, right? It's amazing.
How do they find their way back to their burrows
Right.
after traveling so far in the dark?
It's a combination of those scent trails and an incredible sense of spatial memory.
Okay.
They basically create a scent map of their territory,
Oh, wow.
marking key locations with those hip glands.
So they're good at remembering routes
Yeah,
and landmarks.
exactly, even in low light.
That's amazing.
It is pretty remarkable.
So we've talked about those scent glands.
Yes.
And how they help hamsters navigate.
Right.
But they also play a role in another important ecological process.
And that is
Seed dispersal.
seed dispersal.
Wait, so these little guys
Yeah.
are running around gathering seeds
Uh-huh.
and inadvertently helping to keep their environment thriving.
Exactly. They're like little ecological gardeners.
That's incredible.
Yeah, even seemingly insignificant creatures can have a profound impact on the web of life.
That makes you wonder what other hidden connections
Yeah.
and ecological roles we might be overlooking.
Good question.
We often think of ourselves as separate from nature,
Right.
but in reality, we're all part of this intricate system.
We are all connected.
Okay, so it's not just about saving the hamsters.
Right.
It's about saving the entire ecosystem.
Exactly. Every creature plays a role,
Yeah, no matter how small.
no matter how small.
I'm starting to see hamsters in a whole new light.
Me too. Yeah.
They're not just
Yeah.
cute, cuddly pets.
They're like little ecological superheroes,
Running around, spreading seeds.
keeping the ecosystem humming.
It's amazing what they do.
It's a reminder that nature is full of surprises.
Always full of surprises.
But speaking of surprises, remember those pregastric pouches?
Yes, those unique pouches.
The ones that allow hamsters to digest dairy?
Right.
Well, it turns out
Yeah.
those pouches might be even more fascinating
Oh, really?
than we initially thought.
How so?
Scientists are actually studying them
Wow.
to learn more about gut health,
Interesting.
digestion,
Uh-huh.
and even the potential for developing new treatments
Okay.
for human digestive disorders.
So those tiny hamster pouches
Yeah.
could hold secrets to human health.
That's like a reminder that we can learn so much
So much.
from the natural world.
Yeah, even the smallest, seemingly insignificant details
Right.
can inspire groundbreaking discoveries.
It's all about keeping an open mind
Exactly.
and paying attention
Yes,
to
yeah.
the wonders that surround us. Who knows what secrets nature holds?
This deep dive has taken us on quite a journey.
It has.
They've gone from cheek pouches to ecological superheroes
Yeah,
to potential medical breakthroughs.
It's been a whirlwind tour.
It has. Are you ready for the final leg
I am. Let's do it.
of our deep dive?
I've saved some of the most intriguing insights for last. It's amazing, isn't it?
What's that?
How much we can learn
Yeah.
from these little creatures.
I know, they really make you think
They do.
about how we view the world.
And they remind us that
Yeah.
there's no one right way
Right.
to thrive on this planet.
And they make you wonder what other amazing adaptations are out there,
Oh, absolutely.
just waiting to be discovered.
So many mysteries still to uncover.
Well, remember that thought-provoking question you posed earlier?
Oh, yeah.
What if hamsters could hibernate or throw up?
That's right. What if?
How would their lives and behaviors be different?
It's a fascinating thought experiment.
I know.
So let's start with hibernation. Imagine a world where hamsters evolved the ability to hibernate.
I'm picturing rows of tiny furry bundles,
I know, right?
all tucked away in their burrows.
Snoozing peacefully through the winter.
Exactly.
Now think about what that would mean
Okay.
for their behavior.
Oh.
If they could hibernate,
Yeah.
they wouldn't need to hoard as much food.
Oh, that's true.
So those enormous cheek pouches
Right.
might actually become less pronounced over generations.
Wow. So that one change
Yeah,
could have a ripple effect
exactly.
on their whole way of life.
It highlights how interconnected evolution is.
That's amazing.
One adaptation can influence another.
Okay, now let's flip the script.
Okay.
What if hamsters could throw up?
Ooh, now that's an interesting one.
They wouldn't have to be so careful about what they eat.
Right. They could be more adventurous.
They could try all sorts of new foods.
Exactly.
Maybe they'd even develop a taste for spicy food.
Who knows? Maybe we'd see hamsters with a love for hot peppers.
I love that.